Aloha everybody, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining from for this live breath and flow yoga class. Today we'll be moving around on our mats with a strap. So if you don't have a strap, that's totally fine. I'll instruct without the strap, but you can also use a t-shirt, a towel, anything that you can use, kind of like a little mini rope. We'll be using it in the beginning of class. Also, if you like to practice with blocks, go ahead and grab those now if you want to, and we'll get started in just a moment. Remember, for your yoga practice, no one knows your body as well as you do. So practice at your own risk and choose your own poses that work for you. I will always instruct what I deem best for the class, but it's always up to your practice. So let's get started in a nice, easy seated position. So if you would like, you can come cross legs. Maybe it's half lotus, maybe it's full lotus. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always sit on your knees and sit back onto your heels. Also, you can find a pillow to make it a bit more comfortable underneath your sits bones, if you would like. All right, so today we're going to be working with a nice grounding breath. And what that's going to be today is an inhale that comes deep into your belly. But then as you exhale, you're creating a longer exhale than your inhale. Our exhales are what grounds us. That's the apana vayu, as we call it in yoga, that grounding energy, downward force. So let's get started in our seat. Palms face down on your knees or thighs. And begin to feel down into your ground. So already feeling that groundedness down through your seat. Take a slight tuck of your tailbone, emphasizing that energy down and towards the earth. Feel a gentle pull of your belly back towards your spine. And as that energy travels up, knit your rib cage in towards your body, so in towards the back line of your body. Begin to feel a lift through your sternum. Let your shoulders pull down and away from your ears. And if you feel that there's a little bit more tension in the shoulders, feel free to let those shoulders shrug towards your ears and circle them down your back. Kind of getting a nice loosening of the shoulders, through the shoulder blades, through the heart space. And once you let those shoulders kind of relax down your back, let your heart press open. Take your chin parallel with the earth so that you feel space from the ears to the shoulders to the jaw. And if you feel tension in your jaw, feel free to unhinge and open your mouth and stretch through your face. And relax through the jaw, relax through the tongue. Feel that energy rise up to the point between your eyebrows, where you soften your eyebrows down, unfurrowing. Reach up through the crown of your head. Feel length through your spine. And as your eyes are closed here, just begin to feel that peace that comes with this alignment here. And let's begin with an inhale in through our nose, but the exhale will be out through our mouth. So inhale deep into your belly. Exhale out the mouth, audible exhale. 2 more times like that. Inhale deep to the base of your belly. Fill your belly like a balloon. Let it go completely. Empty the breath. 1 more time just like that. Inhale deep down into your base of your belly. Exhale, release out through the mouth. Good. Now let's begin that equal breath in and out through the nose. our Ujjayi breathing, victorious breath, yogic breath. So as you're inhaling in through your nose, you're creating a gentle constriction in the back of the throat, listening to the sound and quality of your breath. Inhale in. And exhale out. Deep breath in. Let that breath travel down to your base. Press your belly outwards. And exhale out. One more time like that. Big breath in. And exhale out. Good. Now we're going to begin our specific grounding breath for today. As you continue to breathe in and out through your nose, feel free to open your eyes to watch my hand motions as I do this breath. So as you inhale in, as you exhale, palms face down, let your hands press down, exhaling longer. So you just feel that grounded force with your breath. Good, let that motion continue. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, press that energy down. Good, you can close your eyes, move with me. Inhale, your arms rise to the sky. Longer exhale, palms press down. Inhale, arms reach high, fill the lungs, fill the breath, feel the prana. And as you exhale, palms down, just imagine that grounding force down towards the earth, soothing, nourishing. Inhale, arms to the sky, reach high. Exhale, ground that energy down through the midline, down towards your hips, press in towards the earth. Good, take about 2 more rounds. Inhale, rise up with those arms. Exhale, ground down with that breath. One more time, just like that. Inhale the arms high. Really emphasize that exhale. Let's lengthen it out as long as we can. Maybe a few extra seconds. Feel that heaviness, feel that emptiness through the belly, that groundedness through the hips. Good, and let's just place our palms face down on our thighs. Close your eyes, come back to equal part breath in and out through the nose. And the nose only throughout the duration of class, unless otherwise instructed or otherwise needed. As you notice the peace cultivated with your breath, begin to settle on an intention for your practice. Whatever comes to mind first is often the best choice for you. It might be why you're here on the mat right now. Maybe it's a dedication to a loved one or something other than yourself. Good. Now let's slowly get started. If you do have a strap, go ahead and grab that now. If you have a t-shirt or a towel, go ahead and grab that. We'll be coming onto our backs. So just lay comfortably on your back. Take your knees towards your chest. We'll be starting on our right leg. So extend your left leg forward all the way out in front of you. Take a hold of your strap. And if you don't have a strap or a towel, you can grab a hold of your calf. But we're going to wrap that strap or towel, whatever you have, around the arch of your right foot. Once you're there, begin to extend your right leg all the way up towards the sky. So you adjust where you're going to grab on your prop today. And maybe it's onto your leg. Maybe your leg is your prop. Wherever you are, keep your hips square. Flex your right foot. Shoulders ground in towards the earth. And gently pull that right leg towards your torso. So wherever you are and pulling that right leg towards your torso is totally fine, but you want to be able to feel it in the belly of your hamstring, as well as up into the calves and maybe even a little bit into the ankles. Shoulders, head and neck stay grounded on the earth. Stay connected with your breath here. One more breath. Now your left hand grabs a hold of your prop or your leg. Take your left hand and your right leg all the way over to the left. Right arm out to the right. Shoulders down on the earth. So you'll feel a nice twist through your spine and a deep stretch in the outer right hip in the piriformis, through the IT band, through the low back. Deep breath here, one more. Inhale in. And exhale out, release. Now as you inhale, come back through center gently. Pull your belly in to lift that right leg. Switch sides with your hands, so your right hand will grab a hold of your strap or prop. And then begin to take that right leg all the way out to the right. I like to take my left hand onto my left hip. If you can look at your screen here, you'll see my left hand presses my left hip down as my right leg opens out to the right. So that's ensuring that I'm opening through the hips, through the inner thigh. Shoulders again stay on the earth. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Good, let's come back through center. This time, you're going to lift your shoulders up off the mat. Crawl your hands up your prop. Maybe you grab a hold of your ankle, take your forehead towards your knee or shin. Hug your forehead as close as you can to your right leg. Squeeze it up and in. Deep breath in. And exhale, release your strap, release your prop, and we'll switch sides. So let's take that left knee towards the chest, right leg out long. Take your prop of choice and wrap it around that left arch of your foot. And then extend your left leg long. So you are choosing how deep this stretch goes by where your hands are placed on your prop or on your leg. Square your hips out. Keep your shoulders relaxed down on the earth. Right leg stays long and grounded. Take that left leg a little closer towards your torso. If you begin to feel a tremble or shake, that's okay. That's where we make the transformations. Deep breath into your belly. Deep exhale out. Pull that leg just a little bit closer. Feel that stretch through the hamstring, maybe even up into the low back, into the ankle. Good, and then gently release. We'll begin that twist. So your right hand stays on your prop. Left arm out to the left. Left leg over to the right. Gaze to your left. So you're twisting deep in towards your spine. You'll feel this deep in the low back and the outer hip, down through the IT band. Stay connected with your breath here, deep into your belly. Beautiful. Let's come back through center. Left hand will now grab a hold of your prop. Right arm out to your right, or your right hand on your right hip. That's where I like to place it, to open out. And that right hand can act as a weight to press your right hip down, because often your right hip will lift up, and that's really not doing us any favors here. So let's take that right hip down to the earth so that you'll really feel that stretch through the inner thigh. And that might mean the left leg lifts off the earth a little bit. That's fine. That's why we have these props. That's why we're holding on to the leg. Wherever you are, you should feel this deep in your inner thigh. Shoulders stay relaxed on the earth. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, let's inhale back through center. This time grab both hands a hold of that prop or your leg and begin to take that leg close towards your body as your forehead comes towards your shin. Stretch deep in towards that leg. You guys got it. Forehead towards your knee. Pull it in close. And slowly release your prop. You can just place that to the side. Hug your knees deep in towards your chest. Rock side to side. And now we're gonna rock forward and back. Create some momentum through your spine. Massage through your back until you come all the way up to seated. And we will all meet in tabletop position. Shoulders right over the wrists, hips over the knees. Let's change up this cat-cow a little bit today. Let's turn our fingers towards our knees. Now as you inhale, let your shoulders roll back, tailbone to the sky. Lift your heart. And as you exhale, curl back up and in. Tuck your chin. Feel a deep stretch in your wrists and your forearms. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, cow pose. Exhale, curl up and in. Tuck your chin, arch your spine. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high. Lift. Exhale, cat pose. Curl up and in. Tuck your chin. Good. Let's just come back through a neutral spine. Take your fingers to face in towards one another now. And just circle through the wrists. So let's start clockwise. Come back towards your heels. Forward to the right and around. Take about 2 to 3 circles before you switch directions counterclockwise. Hips to heels, circle around. Feel that low back open. You can even press a little bit more into your sides. Good, and now let's come back through center. Hands right under the shoulders. Yet again, deep breath in, neutral spine. And now as you exhale, press your hips back towards your heels. Open your knees out. Take your right arm, slide it under your left. So it's reaching all the way out to the left. Extend your left arm forward and begin to fold in into a modified child's pose. So you want that right hand to reach out to the left as much as you can. You'll feel this in your side waist a little bit, into your shoulder and your shoulder blade. Good. Let's slowly begin to lift up and we'll switch sides. So that right arm is forward. Left arm comes underneath the right arm. Crawl that left hand away, palms face down. Crawl your right hand forward as you relax into this. Let your head and neck relax. Let your hips press back. You should feel a nice stretch through the outer shoulder. A little bit into the lats. Make sure you press that right shoulder down. A lot of times it'll just lift up. So just press it down. You'll feel that stretch deep in the shoulders. Good. Now let's slowly come out of this. Tense your hands in front of you and begin to crawl those hands over to the right. So as far as you can, you'll probably come off your mat a little bit. Crawl those fingertips forward and fold in. Relax your head and neck. Drop that left shoulder down. You'll feel a nice stretch through the rib cage, giving space to the lungs, space to the lats, the shoulders, the side waist. Now inhale, crawl those hands back towards your knees and let's switch sides. Just walk those hands over to the left, slightly off your mat. Reach forward, drop that right shoulder down, relax your head and neck. Feel a nice opening through that right side waist. Feel your rib cage spread open. Feel your right hip press back towards your right heel. Stay connected with your breath at every moment during class. Good, let's come back through center. Just crawl those hands back up towards your knees. Take your knees parallel. Walk your hands forward. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. Stretch through the arches of your feet. Take a look at your hands. Spread those fingers wide. They should look like starfish on your mat. Grounded down. Middle and index finger point forward. Press in towards your palms. Roll your shoulders down your back. Hug your knees towards your chest. Hover those knees up off the mat. Press your hips back. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Bend your knees, hover your knees over your mat, press your hips back. And full breath out, hips to the sky. Let's do that 2 more times. So as you inhale breath, lift your heels, bend your knees, hover your knees up off the mat. Exhale, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. 1 more time. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, hover your knees up off the mat, crouch. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now that you are in your downward dog, feel free to just find some freedom of movement here. You can circle around through your hips, through your shoulders. Sway side to side. Come up onto your tippy toes. Lower your heels. Shift forward and back through plank. Just get all those little fidgets out. And if there aren't any, if stillness is what your body is calling for this morning or today, feel free to just stay in stillness. There's a lot that can be done in those subtle movements, subtle shifts with the breath. Good. And once you do come into stillness, your feet are about hips width distance. So you can see them right here when you're in your downward dog. They're about 6 to 8 inches apart. Hands are shoulders width distance. If you need to take a look and notice where they're at, maybe you need to move them in or move them out. Wrap your shoulders down your back as your hips press high. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, soften your knees, look to the top of your mat. Come into a forward fold all the way at the top of your mat. Bend your knees deep here. Take a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms, and I invite you to sway side to side, opening your side waist, feeling into your hamstrings, your outer hip. Relax through your head and neck. Just feel heavy here. Feel grounded here. I like to call this a nice brain drain. It just lets your head kind of relax towards the earth and drain everything out. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Feel the weight of your spine, lengthening the vertebrae. Good. Last exhale. Bend your knees. Take your hands to the earth, tuck your chin. Begin to slowly roll up to standing. Take your time. Let yourself feel heavy through the upper half of your body. Head and neck are the last to come up, so tuck your chin in and begin to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and open down the back, palms face forward. Tadasana pose. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, mountain pose. Now as you exhale, side waist stretch, right arm down by your side, reach over to the right, roll your left shoulder back, pull your lower ribs in. Inhale back through center, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, sideways stretch, other side. Roll that right shoulder back, reach to the left. Inhale, arms rise high, reach up, maybe even look up. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, open your heart. Back bend. Inhale, reach your arms back up to the sky. Exhale, with straight legs, swan dive forward, forward fold. Relax your head and neck, soften through your knees. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Now as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. Take a breath here. Your shoulders are in line with your hips. Palms right underneath those shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, take your knees to the mat. Walk your hands forward, Anahatanasana, puppy dog pose. Dip your heart down towards your mat. Feel a nice deep stretch in your heart. Inhale, shift onto your forearms, slide your knees back, Sphinx pose. Elbows are right in front of those shoulders. Take a breath in, lift through your heart, create some traction through your forearms, and then lower your chest down. Tent your hands to the outside of your mat for free flowing cobra. Circle the shoulders side to side. You can twist, look back. Take your chin towards one shoulder and then the other. Let it feel good through those shoulders. Staying low or high, your choice. We'll all meet through center when you're ready. With your hands under your shoulders, elbows pulled back, shoulders down and away. Take an inhale for baby cobra. Lift your heart, press softly in towards your palms. Deep breath here. And exhale, tuck your toes, hips press back towards your heels. Lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold back towards your legs. Bend your knees deep, tuck your chin. Let's roll up to standing. Feel each vertebrae open up as you stack all the way up towards the sky. Shoulders shrug high. And then exhale, open those shoulders down the back, palms face forward, Tadasana. Inhale, mountain pose, arms rise high. Exhale, right arm down by your side, side stretch. Inhale, back through center, reach your arms high. Exhale, left arm down by your side, side waist stretch. Inhale, back through center, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, drop your head back, back bend. Inhale, reach your arms high, mountain pose. Exhale, hinge and bow forward, forward folds. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take one big breath in. And exhale your knees to the mat. Walk your hands forward, puppy dog pose, Anahatanasana. Inhale, shift onto your forearms, Sphinx pose. Lift through your heart. Exhale, lower, hands tent, free-flowing cobra. Roll those shoulders back side to side. Let's come back through center, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your heart, cobra pose. Exhale, downward dog. Tuck your toes, hips to heels. Lift your hips to the sky. Full breath here. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Fingertips graze your shins. Now as you exhale, just forward fold. Take your feet together. Bend your knees deep. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Feel the weight in your heels. Inhale, swoop your arms to the sky, chair pose. Relax your shoulders, get low in those legs, slight tuck of your tailbone. Now as you exhale, we're gonna reach our right arm back behind, twist to the right, roll your right shoulder back. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to the left, left arm reaches back. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth, hips high, fold in. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. And as you exhale, this time we're gonna move through chaturanga. So you can take your knees down to the mat if you would like to take half chaturanga. I'll demonstrate that first. And then you lower down, let those elbows stay tight to your midline. And as you inhale, lift through your heart, shoulders back, upward facing dog. If you would like to go there today, lift your thighs as your shoulders draw back, lengthen your arms. Exhale, roll back through your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in and full breath out. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg to the sky, reach it high, flex through that right foot. Point your right toes down towards the earth. So you want to feel an internal rotation of that right femur bone. So if you want to look back to look at your right toes to make sure you're doing that, your right toes will point straight down to the mat rather than out. That's how you know that that right femur bone is internally rotated. Now inhale, reach that right heel high, press it back. As you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest, squeeze it in close, and place your right foot to the top of the mat, coming into a runner's lunge. So your back knee will stay lifted. Ground through your right foot. Square your shoulders and hips forward. Inhale, reach your arms up, crescent pose. Lift up and in through your low belly. Lengthen through your back leg. Deep breath in, lift through your heart. Now as you exhale, hinge forward, create length, reach those fingertips out in front of you. Left hand will lower down to the mat, right arm to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back, twist. So you want to stack your shoulders. You can tent that left hand for a little bit of length. Deep breath in, pull your right knee towards your chest. Good. Now lower your right hand down to the earth. Lower your back knee down. Shift your hips back, flex your right foot. Take a breath in, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, fold in towards your right leg, half splits. Inhale, shift forward onto your right foot, tuck your back toes. Three-legged dog. Take your right leg all the way up to the sky, reach it high. Exhale, lower your right foot down to meet the left. Good, inhale, left leg, reach it high. Now you want to have that internal rotation of the left femur bone. So again, look at your left toes. Turn those left toes down so that they point down towards the earth. Reach that left knee high. And then as you exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of the mat, coming into a runner's lunge. Square your hips forward, square your shoulders forward. Really ground in towards that left foot. Inhale, as you come up, crescent pose. Square your hips forward, strong and straight through that back leg. Lift through your heart, deep breath in. Good, and sink low in that front leg. As you take your next inhale, hinge forward, extend those fingertips out long in front of you, reach. Now as you exhale, take your right hand down, left arm to the sky, roll that left shoulder back, twist your spine. You should feel a nice deep stretch in that outer left hip. Pull your left knee towards your chest to emphasize that stretch. Deep breath in. Good. Release the left hand down towards the earth. Right knee lowers down. Shift your hips back. Come into our half split. So take an inhale, lengthen yourself over your left leg. And as you exhale, begin to walk your hands forward, melt in towards that left leg. Good, now inhale, shift forward, tuck your right toes. Left leg, reach it all the way to the sky, three-legged dog, reach that left leg high. And exhale, lower that left foot down. Take a breath in, press the hips towards the sky. And a breath out, heart towards the thighs. Bend your knees, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway up lift. Exhale, forward fold, feet together, squeeze through your inner thighs. Inhale, chair pose, reach your arms high. Exhale, twist, just take that right arm, reach it back, roll your right shoulder back. Inhale, arms rise back high. Exhale, twist to the left. Reach that left arm back behind you. Inhale, chair pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, relax your head and neck. Inhale, halfway up lift, fingertips graze your shins. Exhale, plant your palms, step or even lightly hop back as you flow through a vinyasa. So your inhale, upward plank, and your exhale, chaturanga, squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, upward dog. Exhale, roll back through your toes, downward facing dog. Full round of breath, inhale it in, and exhale it out. Inhale your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest, place your right foot to the top of the mat, runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent pose, reach your arms high. Exhale, hinge it forward, reach, take that left hand down, right arm to the sky, roll your right shoulder back. Now listen closely as you inhale, ground through that right foot, come all the way up with your twist. So you're reaching back as well as reaching forward. So your right hand reaches back behind you, big breath. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, both arms rise up to the sky. Exhale, lengthen your right leg, hinge forward, tense your hands down on opposite sides of your right leg for a modified pyramid pose. Relax your head and neck, square those hips out. Getting a deeper hamstring stretch. Inhale, shift forward, bend into your right knee. Send your right leg all the way back up to the sky through three-legged dog. If you want to flow through a vinyasa during these times, you always can. Lower that right foot down to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, crescent pose, reach up high. Good, now as you exhale, hinge, reach forward, take that right hand down to the earth. Left arm reaches up, twist. Now listen closely, ground into that left foot. Inhale, rise up with your twist. So you're reaching back, ground into that front foot. Strong legs. Beautiful, stay for a breath. Good. Next, inhale in, take that left arm, reach it back up to the sky, crescent pose. Exhale, hinge forward as you lengthen your left leg, stay on your back toes, hands come to the earth, around your left foot for modified pyramid pose. Square those hips out, relax your head and neck. Feel the deep stretch in that hamstring. Next, inhale, breath. Bend your left knee. Tuck your back toes. Take that left leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. Reach it high. And lower down. We'll all meet in a downward dog. Good. Take a full breath in through the nose. If you want to release the breath out through the mouth, feel free to do so here. Let's bend our knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, take your feet together. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Now this time, exhale, hands to heart center. Sit your weight back in towards your heels. Shoulders peel back. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward as if you're reaching your collarbones towards your thumbs. As you exhale, begin to twist. Take your left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. Try to hinge and hook it on the outside of that right knee. Roll your right shoulder back, get low in those hips. Stack your shoulders, but square through your hips. So you want your hips to stay in line with one another. One more breath. Use that inhale to roll your shoulder back and your exhale to pull in through your low belly, deepen your twist. Good, let's come through, center, inhale here. Take a mini break, hands come behind your back, interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold with a shoulder stretch. Knees can be softly bent, maybe you shake your head out, yes and no. Hips rise high to the sky, ground through those feet. Take another breath here. Good, now rebend those knees. Release your hands, swoop them down towards the earth and then up towards the sky, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shoulders back, press your heart forward. Use that inhale breath to lengthen forward. And as you exhale, that right elbow comes to the outside of your left knee. So use your tricep as leverage on the outside of that left knee. Thumbs come towards heart center as your left shoulder rolls back. Square your hips out. Use your breath through your center to deepen your twist. Good. Now let's inhale back through center. Exhale, hands to the earth, just let it go. Forward fold. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway up. And an exhale, plant your palms. You can step or even lightly float your feet back and flow through your vinyasa. So inhale through high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's take a full round of breath here. And let it go. Inhale, take your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, place your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your back knee down. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. So you can take that right knee and open it out to the right, get a deep stretch in that inner hip. As you exhale, you can bend your elbows and get low. Maybe you come onto your forearms. If you would prefer, you can always take your right hand to the inside of your right thigh and just press that right knee away. Deep breath here. Feel a nice twist through the spine. Feel a good release through those hips. Beautiful. Let's come back through center, back up onto the palms. We'll all meet with our hands under our shoulders. And then heel toe your right foot to the center of your mat. Shift your hips back. Flex your right foot. So you can stay right here with our half splits. If you would like to go further, whether it's just an inch or two closer into full splits, the progression would be to slowly walk your right heel forward and your left knee back. So you might be right here using your hands like pillars to support. Maybe you come all the way out into full splits, but only do so if you know what is in your practice. If you have a block, you can even place one underneath your hamstring or your thigh and kind of bring the earth closer to you. So wherever you are, if you're in half splits, your hips are square, your right foot is flexed, and you're just folding in towards that right leg, getting deeper than you have yet today. If you're working towards full splits, keep those hips square and just keep inching your left knee back and right heel forward. Remember, only move as far as your practice needs. It should always feel like a deep stretch, but never any sharp pains. Deep breath in and deep breath out. If you are in full splits, slowly begin to make your way into half. We will all meet in a low lunge. And then heel toe your right foot all the way over to your left wrist for pigeon pose. Right knee lowers down to your right wrist. Extend your left leg back. Your right heel comes close towards your left hip to make it easier to square those hips out. You can get deeper in the pose by taking your heel closer towards the top of your mat if you want more. If pigeon is not for you today, come onto your back for thread the needle. So take an inhale, reach your heart high, and then take an exhale, and maybe you come down all the way to the ground, or you have a new friend who decides to come on your mat and burp in your face. So stay connected with your breath here. Allow yourself to let go in this pose. Begin to feel your hips press down. And come back to your intention that you set at the beginning of class, whatever that might have been. And even though we aren't moving about the mat, stay connected with your breath here. Let your inhales draw into those tighter spaces. And let your exhales feel like they're expanding and releasing. One more breath. Good, and slowly begin to make your way up. Maybe you're crawling your hands up towards your hips. Take your time. Tuck your back toes. Right leg rises all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. You can feel free to open your knee out, take some big hip circles. If you want to take a vinyasa through chaturanga, an upward dog, feel free to take one here. We'll all meet in downward dog as you're ready. And then inhale your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Hands are right underneath your shoulders. Lift through your heart. So again, you can stay right here with your hands right under your shoulders. If you want more towards the earth, kind of a nice grounding, you can come down onto your forearms. If you want to kind of get a bit of a twist into this pose, you can take your left hand to the inner left thigh and press that knee away. Let your left shoulder roll back, get some twist, sink your hip low to the earth. Open your shoulders back, deep breath in. Wherever you are, try to balance out by taking the same variation on each side. Good, let's all meet with our hands right under our shoulders. heel toe your left foot to the center of your mat. So again, you can choose half or full splits here. Shift your hips back, flex your left foot. Take an inhale for half splits. Your hips are square and you're just folding over that left leg, deeper than you've come yet in class today. If you know that you're working on full splits and you would love to kind of get deeper into that here, take this time to heel toe your left foot straight forward and your right knee back. Square your hips towards the front and always keep that right hip pointing down. You can take a block underneath your left hamstring. You can take blocks on either side to kind of bring the earth closer to you, or just use your hands like pillars and make your way slowly into your degree of the pose. If you're staying in half splits, close your eyes, get deeper in your pose. Feel your torso melt towards your thigh. Maybe even close your eyes for these last 2 breaths here, wherever you are.
Pray for the sunshine. I pray for the
Good. We'll all eventually meet in our low lunge. So if you're in full splits, begin to slowly make your way into half and then shift forward into your low lunge. We'll heel toe that left foot over to the right wrist for pigeon pose. Now remember, if you prefer, thread the needle on your back because your knee prefers that, go ahead and do that now. If not, your left heel comes close to your right hip, right leg extends straight back behind you, hips and shoulders square towards the front. Take an inhale, lift through your heart. And as you exhale, maybe you make your way down to the earth. And come on down, relaxing. Deep breath into your belly, in and out through the nose.
I wanna hear it roar up above me. Remember your love is enough.
Feel your right hip press towards that left heel. Get deeper
I hope
into those hips. Get a nice stretch. Come back to that intention made at the beginning of your class with me today. Notice if the mind begins to wander. And just take note of what comes in and let it out, not becoming attached. One more breath here. Good, and we'll slowly make our way up. Now remember, if you want to take a vinyasa here, feel free. It will be the last one of class. Otherwise, tuck your right toes, left leg all the way up to the sky and circle that left knee out. Big hip circles. And lower that left foot down to meet the right. Take a big breath in through the nose. You can exhale out through the mouth. Let it go. And let's take our knees down to the mat. Take your legs out in front of you. And we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. So just take your legs out as wide as is appropriate for you. Flex your feet. So step one of this pose, you can take your hands right by your hips and just kind of open your chest forward as you press your hips forward, flexing your feet. You want an external rotation of that femur bone, so it will be spiraling back as you open through your inner thigh. So step one right here, lift through your heart, deep breath, and just stay right here. Step two, walk your hands forward. Step three, maybe you're all the way down on the earth or resting on your fur baby, who does not like that. And then crawl your hands forward. Bradley is not happy with that. Good. Reach forward and fold in. Deep breath here. Try to keep your toes pointing up towards the sky. Feel your inner thigh open. Good. Now as you inhale, take your time. Slowly come all the way up. Let's take our left foot to the inside of our inner thigh. This is a forgiveness treat right here. He says, I forgive you for disturbing my peace. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, both arms. Now as you exhale, reach forward, create length, and come all the way over that right leg. Fold in. Good. Relax your head towards your shin, wherever you are. I like to give my foot a nice massage here. Nice. Let's inhale, come all the way back up, switch sides. So use your core to swap. Left leg out, right foot to the inner left thigh. Turn towards your left toes. Take an inhale, reach your arms high. As you exhale, fold in. In your back. Square those shoulders out. Relax your head. You should feel a nice stretch through that right hip, side, waist. All the way into that piriformis, outer hip, and spine. One more big breath here. Good, let's inhale, rise up. And just take your legs out in front, scoot towards the top of your mat. Hug your knees deep in towards your chest as you come onto your back. And we'll just come into happy baby pose. So in happy baby, take your hands to the outer blades of your feet. Let your knees come to the outsides of your rib cage. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. Get deep into your hips, shoulders, and head and neck. All stay on the earth. 2 more breaths here. Feel heavy through those hips and tailbone. Good. Now let's hug those knees deep in towards our chest. Forehead towards the knees. Take a big breath in. Give yourself a big squeeze. And as you exhale, just extend your legs out long. Palms face up. Close your eyes. Come into Shavasana. If there are any other poses that you wish to take before your final resting pose, you can always feel free to do so here. If you're joining me in a little Shavasana, just let your eyes stay closed. Let your mind remain quiet. Let your breath be relaxed. Feel that nice melting sensation in towards your mat and towards the earth. You can stay in your Shavasana as long as you need, or as long as you can. If you would like to begin to move about your day, take your time and slowly roll off to one side or the other. Use your hands as eyes to crawl yourself up into an easy seated position, and we'll all meet cross-legged half or full lotus, comfortable seat. With our hands at heart center, take a moment here to remember your intention you set at the beginning of class. Notice how that intention might have evolved. And let's honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining class this morning. If you have anything that you would like to suggest or you want to see from class, feel free to send me a message. You can contact me at Katie Marie Yoga on my Instagram. Here on YouTube, you can comment, like, share, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell that alerts you when I'm live if you don't want to miss these classes. And feel free to just contact me, let me know what you like, and I'll see you next time. Aloha and thank you.